Okay, we'll start off with the most common use of que, and this is when que has an accent, and so it means what. So when que has an accent, it means what, and it's pronounced exactly the same whether it has an accent or not, but it's just the way to indicate that it means what when it's written. And obviously this can be what do you want, what are you looking for, but then also what as in pardon, as in I didn't hear you. And to an ear not tuned to Spanish, this que for what did you say, can sometimes sound not that polite, but obviously this is just a cultural thing and it's perfectly fine in Spanish and you'll hear it a lot. So que as what, and let's have a look at some examples and we'll practice using this. So we could say ¿Qué quieres? What do you want? What would you like? ¿Qué quieres? This would be quite common, obviously in the general sense of what do you want, but also in if you sit down in a bar, they might say ¿Qué quieres? Like what would you like? What do you want? ¿Qué buscas? What are you looking for? ¿Qué buscas? What are you looking for? ¿Qué miras? What are you looking at? What are you looking at? ¿Qué miras? ¿Qué haces? ¿Qué haces? What are you doing? What are you doing? ¿Qué haces? And another one for in a bar, ¿Qué te pongo? ¿Qué te pongo? Is a very, very common way of saying, like, what can I get you? ¿Qué te pongo? Okay, let's just practice that. How do you say, what are you doing? ¿Qué haces? ¿Qué haces? What are you doing? How would you say, what do you want? What would you like? ¿Qué quieres? ¿Qué quieres? ¿Qué quieres? How would you say, what can I get you? What can I get you? ¿Qué te pongo? ¿Qué te pongo? Literally means, what shall I put you? What do I put you? But obviously, that's not what we say in English. And how do you say again, what are you looking at? ¿Qué miras? ¿Qué miras? So there we go. ¿Qué? Meaning what. Our next meaning for ¿qué? Is without an accent, and it means than. As in bigger than, smaller than, whatever that might be. So ¿qué? Meaning than. So let's have an example. So we could say soy, I am, soy más rápido que Juan. Soy más rápido que Juan. I'm faster, so I'm more fast. Más rápido, more fast. Soy más rápido que, I'm faster than Juan. Okay, we'll add a few more in here. So we'll have alto, which is tall. So más alto, taller. Guapo, good looking or handsome. Listo, clever. How would you say, I'm cleverer or more clever than Juan? What would that be? Soy más listo que Juan. Soy más listo que Juan. How about I'm taller than Juan? Soy más alto que Juan. Soy más alto que Juan. How about I'm better looking than Juan? Soy más guapo que Juan. Soy más guapo que Juan. And we can add in, so we've got soy, I'm. Let's add in es. And es means he is, she is, and it is, it's. We'll probably use here mostly to mean he is, es, es. So how would you say, he's faster than Juan? What would that be? He's faster than Juan. Es más rápido que Juan. How about, he's more handsome, or he's better looking than Juan. What would that be? Es más guapo que Juan. Es más guapo que Juan. So, que meaning than. Our next meaning of que is that. So, I think that, etc. Now in Spanish, in English we can say, I think it's great. I think it's great. In English we can also say, I think that it's great. And in Spanish, you don't have an option. You have to say that. So the times in English where it's possible to say that, in Spanish you have to say that. So you always have to say, I think that. I suppose that. Okay, well let's look at some examples then. So, creo que es interesante. Creo que es interesante. I think that, or I believe that, I think that it's interesting. Okay, so we have to have the que, the that there. Let's add a couple more. Let's add in sé, means I know. Sé, like no sé is I don't know. Sé is I know. Supongo is I suppose. I suppose. So creo, sé, and supongo. How would you say, I think it's interesting? And remember, you have to say, I think that it's interesting. What would that be? Creo que es interesante. Creo que es interesante. How would you say, I suppose it's interesting? I suppose it's interesting, or I suppose that it's interesting. What would that be? Supongo que es interesante. Supongo que es interesante. And how about, I know that it's interesting. I know that it's interesting, but, etc., etc. So how would you say, I know it's interesting? Sé que es interesante. Sé que es interesante. Let's just add in there difícil. Difícil is difficult. Difícil. How would you say, I think it's difficult? Creo que es difícil. Creo que es difícil. How would you say, I know it's difficult. I know it's difficult. Sé que es difícil. Sé que es difícil. And how about, I suppose it's difficult. I suppose it's difficult. Supongo que es difícil. Supongo que es difícil. Okay, so que meaning that. So far we've had que with an accent meaning what, as in ¿qué quieres? We've had que without an accent meaning than, as in más alto que, taller than. And we've had que, again without an accent, meaning that, as in creo que, I think that, or sé que, I know that. This next meaning or usage of que is very common, very useful, but it's something that learners don't often learn until they're quite advanced. But there's no reason for that. There's no. It's very easy to use, and it will make you sound a lot more fluent. But just before we come on to that, let me just mention the ProSpanish Levels 1 to 6 course, available for download at prospanish.co.uk. And this takes the complete beginner, or near beginner, right up to a conversational level of Spanish. Okay, so lo que. Lo que, as a little phrase, lo que means what in the middle of a sentence. So we saw before that que means what, que with an accent, what as in what do you want. But when what is in the middle of a sentence and isn't actually a question, then we use lo que and no accent on the que. Lo que, lo que. So let's look at some examples. So if you want to say, it's what I want, it's what I want. Here the what isn't actually a question, so we have to use lo que, it's what I want. So es, it's, lo que, what, quiero, I want. Es lo que quiero, it's what I want. And as well as I want, as well as quiero, we can add in necesito, I need, necesito. We can also add in I feel, siento, and I do, hago, hago. So how would you say, it's what I need, it's what I need? Es lo que necesito, es lo que necesito. It's what, lo que, es lo que necesito. How about it's what I do? It's what I do. Es lo que hago, es lo que hago. It's what I do. If we want to say it's not what I do, we just put no before es. No es means it's not. No es. How would you say it's not what I do? No es lo que hago. No es lo que hago. How would you say it's what I feel? Es lo que siento. Es lo que siento. How about it's not what I need? It's not what I need. No es lo que necesito. No es lo que necesito. How about it's not what I want? No es lo que quiero. No es lo que quiero. It's not what I want. Okay, so that was number 4. So, lo que, meaning what, when it's in the middle of a sentence. Again, on to our next one. And here, we're going back to que, meaning what, with an accent. And it's used for exclamations. So, qué sorpresa, what a surprise. And in Spanish, they don't put the there. They just put the what and then the describing word. So, qué sorpresa, what a surprise, qué sorpresa. And we can also add in there interesante, interesting. And we'll also add in asco. Asco is for something really disgusting, asco. And risa is something very funny, a laugh. A risa literally means a laugh, a laugh. So risa is something very funny, something funny that happened. So how would you say, how funny, how funny? Qué risa, qué risa, qué risa. How would you say, how disgusting, how revolting? What would that be? Qué asco, qué asco. And notice that in English we would use how with some of these expressions, but in Spanish we stick with the que. Qué asco, how disgusting. How would you say, how interesting? Qué interesante, qué interesante. Okay, so que for exclamations. And on to our 6th one. This is a very common expression with que, and it's es que. Es que. Literally, it means it's that. Es que, it's that. But it's used in Spanish to mean a bit like, the thing is, etc., etc. The thing is, we can't do it now because, whatever it might be. Because it's such a short phrase, it's used very, very commonly. Es que. So, for example, if you wanted to say, let's have, es que no me gusta. The thing is, I don't like it. Es que no me gusta. The thing is, I don't like it. Let's add in no sé. I don't know. And let's add in puedo. And remember, no puedo would be, well, puedo is I can. No puedo, I can't. No puedo, I can't. So how would you say, the thing is, I don't know. Es que no sé. Es que no sé. How about, the thing is, I can't. Es que no puedo. Es que no puedo. And back again to, the thing is, I don't like it. Es que no me gusta. Es que no me gusta. How about, the thing is, I like it. The thing is, I like it. What would that be? Es que me gusta. Es que me gusta. And on to our final use of que. This is quite advanced Spanish, but even if you're a beginner, it's still useful and you'll be able to use it after this explanation. This usage of que is used, it's like a command, but for a third person, for like him or her. So for example, if you say to somebody, wait here, that's straightforward. Wait here, wait is espera aquí, wait here. But if we want to say wait here, but for somebody else to wait here, in English, we'd have to say, let him wait, or he should wait, or he must wait. And in Spanish, we use que plus a mode of verb which is called the subjunctive. You don't need to know that, but that's what it is. So we would say que se espere, let him wait, que se espere. And that que is just necessary before using this subjunctive mode. So que se espere, let him wait. We could also have que se vaya, let him go. But we would probably say in English, he should go. He needs to go. But in Spanish, we just have, because it's this kind of third-person command, we just have que se vaya. Let him go. He should go. Que se vaya. We could also have in there venga, come. So let him come, or he needs to come here. He needs to come. Que venga. Que venga. Que venga. Okay, so how would you say let him wait, or he should wait, or he'll have to wait? Que se espere. Que se espere. What about he'll have to leave, or he'll have to go? What would that be? Que se vaya. Que se vaya. He must go. And how about he'll have to come, or he needs to come? What would that be? Que venga. Que venga. And that concludes today's lesson on que. As mentioned before, if you're looking to become a confident speaker of Spanish, head over to prospanish.co.uk, where you can download the levels 1 to 6 beginner to conversation course.